Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen, and today we're going to talk about yesterday's Carabao Cup victory over Arsenal. A bit of trivia to start with. Does anyone know the collective noun for a Carabao? Stay tuned, and I'll tell you later. So it's our fifth Carabao in the Pep era and ninth in total. And I think it was almost the perfect game as far as City were concerned, particularly the second half. So we'll talk about the game and we'll do player ratings afterwards. So the teams came out. I was broadly happy. A bit of a concern that Diaz dropped out early doors. Sorry, just before the game, and was replaced by Ake. Now Ake, been a steady Eddie over the years, but hasn't been great this season. But Arsenal don't have much pace, so he's good in the air as well. So you think, right, okay, that should be okay. And glad to see Semenyo playing on the wing and Cherky playing as well, because he's been pretty good over the last few weeks and the season overall, really. And I looked at the Arsenal team, and my view was there's not a lot there, is there? There's not a lot there. I mean, Kepa in there is shit. End of story. He's been shit for years. But I'll come on to it now. He is not the reason necessarily they lost that game. Yeah, he dropped it in, but you've got to, in my view, play the second choice keeper. He's the horse you rode in on. You cannot say, yeah. Oh, actually, it's a big game now because you're out. Because you need this guy fit. Ray could get injured in training tomorrow or during the game, and they need him for the rest of the season. You've got to give the guy confidence. You can't just say, oh, we're playing a good team now, and so we don't want you. So I think Arteta probably got the decision right, although the ultimate outcome was poor. The operation was a success, but the patient died, if you will. But yeah, I thought there's not a lot there in Arsenal. Yeah, Odegaard and Eze were injured, but they're dull, aren't they? They're dull. I know. I keep reading that or hearing that it's Arsenal's worst performance of the season. Well, every time I watch them, they play like that anyway. Not all the time. It just so happens that their free kick and set piece stick didn't work yesterday. Now, that might get you enough points over 38 games, particularly when City and Liverpool aren't really up to it. But I don't see that happening or being successful in Champions League or future rounds of the FA Cup. I'm sure they'll get past Southampton, but semi-final and final. Because cup competition, you need to take risks. You need to take risks to win the game. You need to win the game. And they seem incapable of taking risks unless it's like really desperate to death. But even at 2-0, I didn't know there was any particular urgency from them. I mean, their best two players was the substitute left back and Gabriel Jesus. I mean, says it all, doesn't it? Says it all. And yeah, I don't think they did anything. Saka, anonymous, less him, winning a few free kicks in the first half. Declan Rice, walking over to take throw-ins, walking over to take corners in the first half. You should put a marker down. You should be turning up like the league leaders that you are, the quadruple hopefuls that you were, and look to dominate us. But there was none of it. And Declan Rice was put in his place by Rodri, in my view. I think you can see the difference in class, can't you, between Rodri and Declan Rice. But that said, Arsenal started reasonably brightly. Trafford had those three saves in quick succession. But outside of that, not a lot. A couple of corners, a couple of throw-ins, a bit of maybe. But after the first 20 minutes, we settled down, didn't we? Semenyo started to get involved, put a good cross in for Haaland, who nearly got there. Now, that's why one of the reasons why I like XG and the big chances stats, because you look at the hard time stats. It says Arsenal had 3 shots. Well, those 3 shots came in the same 5 seconds, and that was it. Whereas we've had 2 Haaland headers, which were both arguably better chances than Arsenal's three shots. I'd say they probably were better chances actually, and we were definitely on top going into the second half. And I did think the longer it stays 0-0, I fancy us more because I think we'll take more risks. I think we'll go for it, and I think they'll retreat to their shell. However, we didn't really have to wait much longer, did we? I mean, once the second half started, it was pretty clear that Pep had changed something. I'll give him give him some confidence at half time, whatever it happens to be, change a few positions, and it was all us. Docker and Semenyo ran them ragged. Didn't have an answer for it. And I know that Nkapie was booked early doors, but so was Kusanov. There's no talk about taking him off, was there? Because he doesn't know how to cope on a booking. I mean, if your left back can't cope on a booking, then you got big problems, haven't you? Particularly when you're a defensive outfit like Arsenal. So yeah, I thought our two wingers ran them ragged to the point where their keeper, Kepa, I mean, he lost the plot, didn't he? Just runs out of his box, tries to be stronger than Doku, and he just got no chance. And there's a couple of clips going around, there's stills of when the ref blows. You're thinking, what are you doing? What are you blowing for, ref? What are you doing? Because we can, if that happens in midfield, you let the advantage run, and if someone blasts it over the bar and knocks out a play, you either call it back because the advantage wasn't gained, or you play on, but you go back to book the player anyway. I don't understand the referee's rush in booking Kepa in that instance. I don't understand it. If you do, please let me know. So Kepa's nightmare didn't end there, though, did it? He basically dropped on O'Reilly's head, didn't he? He dropped on his head. It was a good cross-ish from Cherky. He was creating. Kepa goes for it. O'Reilly with the header, but to say the header, I mean, I don't think that's any service at all. The agility to change direction from O'Reilly whilst holding off Zubimendi, in addition to getting enough power to get it over the line. I thought it was brilliant. And there's nothing this guy can't do, is there? And then shortly after, it was 2-0. Down our right-hand side again, Núñez, top cross, O'Reilly. The header was very similar to the one he scored against Newcastle in the league. What was it, about a month ago? Cross comes in, head it back the way it came, and keeper hasn't got time to adjust. So it's 2-0, and we're going, right, what have Arsenal got here? And their answer was to put Declan Rice at right back and put another striker on. I mean, it wasn't a lot there, was there? I mean, even when we had the ball at 2-0, there wasn't much pressing. They had the Calafiore shot where Trossard headed it back to him. A good shot, hit the post on the way wide, and the Gabriel Jesus header. But other than that, I didn't think they offered anything. Cup final, and that's all they've got. Nothing to it. There's nothing to this mob at all. They're just big, strong, and play for percentages, which is fine if that's what you want to do. I wouldn't want a season ticket for them, but they'll say it's justified because they'll win the league this year. And I think they will win the league this year. I'm not trying to hear any of this, oh, City got a psychological advantage, oh, City this, oh, Arsenal bottle this. Nah, not interested. There's just no way. If this was 6 weeks ago, maybe, but you cannot draw at home to Nottingham Forest and away to West Ham and expect to challenge for the league at this stage of the season. So Tottenham were leading, drew. West Ham leading, drew. Forest leading, drew. These are too many points at this stage of the season to be dropping. And I just think we'll run out of time. There's 9 games to go, isn't it? Something we'll just run out of time. But I think it puts a bit of a marker down for next season because we dominated them. And as I said earlier, I was expecting them to turn up like they were like they owned the place, but they didn't. They seemed frightened, and they seemed what's the word I'm looking for? Inhibited by whether it's fright, whether it's respect for City, whatever it happens to be. But yeah, I think overall it was almost the perfect half, the perfect game for us, particularly in the second half. And the collective noun for a Carabao is a herd or a gang or a troop. I think, is it a troop? No, it's not. A herd or a gang. There we go. So we'll move on to player ratings because, like I said, broadly I was happy when the team came out. So what do we think of individuals? Well, James Trafford was always going to play. I thought he did well. I think if you listen to what he said after the game, Donnarumma coming in clearly affected him in ways that us from the outside probably don't know, don't really care about or appreciate. Because it is a human business, football, isn't it? So if you come in with one expectation and something else happens, it probably will floor you. But I suppose that is the job, isn't it? You've got to be acutely aware that City will look to improve in positions. But his triple save was excellent, but that was about it. Didn't really have a lot else to do. His distribution, long and short, was good. And at a good tempo as well, because if you look at Kepa in that second half, he let us. He didn't hurry the ball up at all. We were very much keen to get on with things. And the Arsenal fans mentioned afterwards that the way City played got our fans up for it, who were excellent, by the way. But the way Arsenal played didn't really get them up for it. And whilst I'm talking about Arsenal fans, actually, listen, I'm not the support police. You can go, you can stay, you can do what you want. But about 5 minutes ago, they're half of the ground more or less empty. Now, and they live up the road, don't they? By and large. But this team's gonna win the league. They're going to win the Champions League, going to win the FA Cup in the final here, and the fans abandoned it. Which is not strange, which I thought was a bit strange, really. But yeah, that's up to them, I suppose. So yeah, Trafford, I'd give him 7.5. Núñez, I thought it was his best game for a few weeks. I missed Real Madrid at home, so if he was at a worldie against them, then he did, but I missed it. So his best game for a few weeks. He can run for days. They got no joy out of him. An excellent assist. But what do we do in the summer? Do we go, right, well, Guardiola's back and we move everyone along and Kusanov plays right back? I hope not. Do we buy a first choice right back and then let Núñez fill in one of the midfield gaps that we'll have and then drop in at right back when we need him? Maybe. Or do we accept that Núñez is now our right back and buy a, I don't know, project right back for want of a better phrase, and take it from there? Or do we buy an old head, steady Eddie with experience of European football and stick him down there? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't even know what I'd suggest at this point, because I think they all have pros and they all have significant drawbacks in terms of other areas of the pitch and settling in periods, particularly after World Cups and things of that nature. So I don't know. But I think the idea of going out 80 million quid for Livramento should probably be shelved. He's injured a lot. It's a lot of dough. We'll need at least 2 midfielders in the summer. So I wouldn't be doing anything like that, I don't think. We might give him for a bit less if his contract's run down a little bit more. But, you take my point. So, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll have a think about that. But, yeah, 7.5 out of him. Kusanov, Jesus Christ. It's his first final for us. It looked like it was his 10th. No messing, comfortable on the ball, baited them. Yeah, nothing he can't do, is it? Nothing he can't do. He's rapid. He had a really good game against Gyökeres, except for a couple of times when he had to go in the channels, when he had to swap over with Ake, because Ake was caught. That was a couple of times in the first half. I think that just goes down to playing together. They're just used to playing together. He got booked for reducing Gyökeres, which is fine. A bit naive, but fuck it. Bit of fun, isn't it? But he was never in danger of getting a second yellow, was he? So, he's aggressive and then pulls away. But very much like Fernandinho used to do, Bernardo Silva does. Foul to get booked, and then that's it. I thought he was excellent. Never in danger of a second yellow card. And imagine if he was Spanish. These pundits be raving about him. No one will be talking about the first 5 minutes he played against Chelsea once upon a time. No, they'll be talking about him after Barcelona or Real Madrid in the summer. No, he needs a new contract. He needs to be told, listen, you're going to be our first choice defender in probably 18 months. He's better. He's probably better on the ball than Diaz. He's quicker than Diaz. Diaz has the experience and the medals, but I think we'll have to transition Diaz out and then we'll go with Guardiola and Kuznetsov over the next 3 or 4 years after that. I think that'd be good, wouldn't it? Very good. Yeah, so I give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he's excellent. Excellent. Nathan Ake, steady Eddie, wasn't he? Steady Eddie, like I mentioned, struggled a few times in the first half, chested it down to Kuznetsov in our penalty area late in the second half. Probably wasn't the best idea, but overall, very good and very comfortable. And if you go back and look, he was in the box shortly before O'Reilly scored the first. So it just showed our level of domination, how comfortable we were to get left backs and left centre backs in the box in the 50th minute or so. That's our level of confidence, because they didn't have a lot going the other way. They don't have a lot of pace. Even if Eze and Odegaard, maybe if they played, they might have had a bit more creativity and a bit more running, but we had plenty of players missing as well, so I'm not listening to any of their belly aching. So yeah, okay, 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Nico O'Reilly. Footballers was a go home now. That's it. He's finished. He's completed football almost, hasn't he? He's done everything. What else do you want to do? He's done a lot, hasn't he? There's not many 21-year-olds who's had he had 21 on Saturday, didn't he? 21 on Saturday, 2 goals on Sunday. Not a bad weekend, is it? You know what? Yeah. For his age range, he's got to be up there. And there's nothing he can't do. I know he struggled against Real Madrid in the first leg, but it's obviously put that behind him pretty easily. Saka got no joy out of him. He stood up to Zubimendi. He was tight, good in tight spaces. I mean, what more do you want from him? I don't know. I don't know. He's another one. If he hasn't, I think he needs to sign a new contract in the summer. Well, give him another one. Because people will be sniffing around him soon. If he's not, but he is playing for us, isn't he? He is playing for us. No one's buying him off us, are they? So no, I think he'll be here for a long time to come, and he was excellent. He was excellent. Rodri, 8 out of 10. Looking back to his best, and whilst not at his best, he's still dominated Declan Rice. Without even looking like they're on the same level. Rodri is just different class. A bit missing the first, I thought, in terms of his positioning and where he collected the ball. But the second half, it was like we're back to the old days of Rodri midfield on his own and everyone else, go and do your thing. He was excellent. And if he can carry on like that, get to the summer, a decent enough World Cup, and then bounce in the next season, well, that's a problem in itself, isn't it? Is he going to be here next season? Contracts up, a year from this summer. What do you do? Do you give him what he wants, whatever that is? If he says, I don't want to stay, do you look to sell him, or do you say, right, okay, you can stay, but you can go, but you'll have to wait a year and walk out the door for nothing, because we don't really need the money, and we need you, because what sort of money would you get for a guy who's, 30 now, coming off the back of a big injury with a year left on his contract? You're not going to get the 150 mil, are you? You're not going to get 100. You probably get 50 or 60 or something. Well, I'd rather have him for the season than that, because his value to the team and what it costs to replace him, and Bernardo if he leaves, and Kovacic when he leaves. So we need someone guaranteed to be here next season, don't we? So yeah, I just say, if you want to go, you can go, but you walk out the door for nothing, rather than you'll have to wait. So yeah, I give him, what I give Rodri, 8. Fuck it, I love it. Give him a 9. That was excellent. Bernardo, I give him an 8. I thought every blade of grass. Again, these sorts of games are built for him, aren't they? He's got so much experience, knows how to wind them up, knows how to foul. I mean, how he didn't get booked for that foul on Trossard, I'll never know. I think he did. I think that might have been his third one, so he did get booked for that. But again, then pulls away, doesn't he? Then doesn't do it again. And regardless of his actual performance, which I thought was very, very good, I'm just glad to see him with the trophy because he's played during this 9-year period of winning everything. And I don't want to call him an unsung hero because that wouldn't be fair, but he's never been a star of any particular show, has he? I don't think, less Real Madrid that 4-0. But see him lift the trophy was excellent, and yeah, I'm pleased for him as well because if he does leave this season, which again he isn't going to Benfica on a free transfer, he'll be off to Juventus, Bayern Munich, someone like that. He is valuable. So again, City, I'd do what we could to keep him just for one more year, because we need more midfielders anyway, and to have him there as a standard setter and things of that nature would be would definitely be a positive in my view. Turkey, I love the kick-ups. I loved them. Did it at the time. I did at the time, but I thought if they come back into this, you're going to make us look like bellends. But they didn't, did they? I mean, I wouldn't want him doing it against a lower league team like Salford. Well, yeah, maybe Salford wouldn't mind, but Burton Albion. I don't like when the difference in ability is so big. I wouldn't want him to do that. But against a team that's top of the league, you can take the piss out of them, can't you? So, and that shows how relaxed they were. And after the game, he's there with his medal on. He looked very relaxed, and I think this is now his time. He's been in and out. I know Pep was saying it's not balanced with him and Doku and all the rest of it, but I think it's time for him to play. Set up the goal with a little bit of a helping hand from Kepa. But yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought they all were. They struggled to get close to him. His footwork. City have put something out on their social media platform. Him and Calafiore. His footwork was amazing. And again, go back to the kick-ups. I know all these professionals bellyache. Oh, it's disrespectful. Well, fuck him. Sometimes it's a bit of fun, innit? A bit of entertainment. That's what we're here for. No doubt the Arsenal fans will start bellyaching and making a big thing out of it like they did with the "Stay Humble" quote and all the rest of it. But yeah, they just that's the way they are, innit? But yeah, he creates so much, and I think he just needs to play now. Just needs to play because we're out of the Champions League, so there's not much rotation really necessary. So get him in the team and just keep things going. So give him 7.5. Doku, I'll give him 7. He had a quiet first half. Started wide. Don't really like seeing him wide, but much better in the second. Nearly got that goalkeeper sent off. And again, what was the ref doing? Why stop the game? Why stop the game there? I don't understand it. But maybe that's a me problem. Maybe I just don't understand, and it's a perfectly legitimate thing for the referee to do. But didn't feel like it, did it? Didn't feel like it. But yeah, excellent. Keep going. Knocked a couple of balls across Haaland. He was on his heels. We'll come on to that in a minute. But yeah, 7 for Doku. Semenyo, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Much better wide right than that daft number 10 position he played against West Ham. Yeah, and I thought he had so much confidence. Unlike the United game, when we played United, Luke Shaw got booked early. He didn't go at him once after that. Whereas in this game, Nkapie got booked early. All sorts of different try and take. He went wide sometimes, come in sometimes. I mean, his shot in the second half was terrible. But other than that, I thought that was his best game for us. His running power. He's just getting near him, and that's why I want to see him out wide. Tearing fullbacks apart, because I think he's overly generous to Nkapie and a bit disrespectful to Semenyo to say just because he got booked, he couldn't tackle him. You can get fucking near him. So yeah, a bit more of that, please, Pep. And again, that cross for Haaland in the first half. Woof. Should Haaland have got there? So come on to Haaland now. I'll start with the positives because I thought he was really, really good. I thought Haaland was really good. I thought his effort, his running, his scrapping from the first second, 2 of them hit him. And in the game against those two, Gabriel and Saliba, he is there to occupy them. Now, I don't think that applies against lower to mid-table teams. I don't think that excuse is good enough against lower to mid-table teams. I do think it's good enough against these two because these two are really good, and you've got to stand up for yourself. And he did. And he won a couple of headers, closed them down when necessary. I thought it was, I thought it was one of his best games in a while. Again, I didn't see Real Madrid, so maybe he played well in that game. So I'd give him 7.5. But should he have been there for that Semenyo cross? I mean, the cross came like a bullet. So I'm sort of giving him a bit of slack on that. But again, should you be anticipating where that ball goes? Because it happened a couple of times in the second half as well. Cherky knocked it back, Doku knocked it back, and he seems to be waiting for the ball rather than, Doku's on the touchline. There's only one place he can go. And he's not to where he's stood. So forget waiting for it. Go to where you think the ball will come. So, and I think there's a pattern, we go back to Forest at home, Chelsea, Sunderland, all these times where you see the ball there and he just hasn't anticipated it well enough. But, that's a small negative on what was for him, I think, an excellent performance. And in terms of subs, Phil come on, didn't do a lot. Glad to see him on though, everyone round. And it was a wonderful evening. It's a wonderful evening. So what next? Can we win the league? No. Can we win the FA Cup? Absolutely. I mean, Liverpool, okay, thank you very much. Now imagine where this season was a couple of weeks ago and we go win a cup double. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then finish second with a cup double. That's a very good season for anyone at any time ever. So if we can do that with this sort of transitioning team of bit of a patchwork squad, then roll on next season. Right. Well, we'll leave it there, shall we? If you got this far, I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share across various platforms if you'd be so kind, and tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll be back probably the weekend to have a chat about the season so far and see what the next few games could possibly bring us, and we'll take it from there with the cup game coming up. So thanks again. Please like, subscribe, onwards and upwards, and I'll see you soon. Take care.